from On-Chain Media, and we have an incredible lineup, an all-star lineup of guests today. We have a video cameo here today from Mickey, Mr. Telecom, you guys, from World Mobile. We got Rob here and Clover Nodes from the World Mobile Alliance. And we have a very special guest joining us for the second segment of the show. We have the California State Chapter President of Stand With Crypto joining us, who I've had the pleasure of working with for well over a year now, working on Stand With Crypto in the US. So yeah, today's discussion is going to dive into the intersection of U.S. policy, telecom, DePin, and how that's the foundation for everything that we're building, and everything that World Mobile's working on. So, without further ado, would love to go around to our speakers and just give a brief overview of who everybody is, what they're working on, and yeah, we can kick off with you, Mickey.
I'm Mickey Watkins. I'm the CEO and the founder of World Mobile. I'm working on allowing people to reclaim their privacy, reclaim their connectivity, and reclaim their right to earn.
Ooh, that was really a strong intro, man. How do we follow that? That was.
We've got some strong people on the call here.
That's the stream, guys. I also want to remind everybody, since we're just kicking off, if you could take a moment to hit that retweet button, share this out so we can get more folks in here to teach about what World Mobile is building. Yeah, we got the all-stars here today, founder of World Mobile, and some highly active community members here. So if you're someone who's started to hear about World Mobile through the on-chain media community, highly encourage you guys in our community to reshare this as well so we can get more folks in here. And without further ado, I would love to pass it over to Rob. How's it going, Rob?
Sorry, I had double mute on. Yeah, hey, how's it going? I'm doing well over here.
Awesome, man. I was saying earlier, I was chatting with Rob. I feel like we're getting like a behind the scenes, like studio, like filmmaker space over there.
Well, the camera, normally use a green screen for everything and the camera's kind of in. Right now you can kind of see, I actually have this cabin. We have a custom built cabin that I'm in right now. This is my World Mobile outpost. I have a main room, a bathroom.
Sounds like something out of a video game, like an RPG.
It's pretty sweet. Outpost. But this is the Midwest headquarters for World Mobile Rob version, I guess. But yeah, so again, I got the mess behind me, so I apologize if you see that. But yeah, things are going good. Things are good over here. I was wrangling and wrestling some cows earlier today, and got back
like
just
literally.
In time. Oh yeah.
This isn't like figured. Okay.
Nope.
Right.
Nope. Had
literally wrestling.
A couple of feisty ones there. Had to get them corralled and thrown into a trailer, and But hey, I'm clean. I'm showered. I'm ready to go.
I love to hear it. And yeah, I just got to give flowers to Rob and Clover here, you guys. I started joining their weekly shows. Every Saturday they host spaces, and just really felt welcomed by them in the community. And it showed me, okay, the community that World Mobile has is really special. And that all doesn't happen without people like Clover and Rob. So I do want to pass it off next to Clover to do an intro.
Hey, can you hear me? Very good. My name is Cal. I also known as Clover Notes Online, and it's really good to be here. It says I'm having a little mic issue right now, but I'm not sure if it's all coming through okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me well.
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah.
Perfect. Well, I'm super happy to be here. Yesterday me and Rachel had an amazing call with her community, so I got to know a little bit more of the on-chain media community. Shout out to everyone there. Everyone's very, very welcoming. So thank you for inviting me. I'm looking forward to this conversation. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, had a great call with Clover. So Clover came in, and every Wednesday we have the on-chain media community call where we all get together on Telegram. We bring up different projects that we're working with, and Clover came in and shared more about what World Mobile does, and we had people just engage. We had people wanting to convert and become users on that call. It was just incredible. So yeah, really appreciate the on-chain media showing up and Clover for showing up in our community. And yeah, we got to do like a live walkthrough of everything. We shared a new video that's going to drop that we just produced. So yeah, a lot of exciting stuff all around with World Mobile and on-chain media. So yeah, I do want to touch on why this conversation matters so much right now, right? Because we're going to have the California State Chapter President of Stand With Crypto joining us. And what Stand with Crypto does is they're a huge crypto advocacy group. They really got their start in the US, but now expanding globally. And without organizations like this, I feel like, with World Mobile expanding in the US more and growing the global presence, I want to talk a little bit about why this conversation is so important. And Mickey, you could probably speak a lot to this, like, how US policy kind of impacts things around building in the DePin space and the RWA landscape.
Sure. Let's take a couple of steps back.
And cellular, yeah, I mean, all of it.
I think one of the most important things to remember is that the birth of crypto was supposed to be the movement that took us back to having our own sovereignty. So self-data sovereignty, without rules. And then we went through this transition stage where it was like, okay, we've got to have rules. If we want this to be in a billion people's hands, we should have some level of rules because, bad stuff can happen. And then we've got to a state now where actually it seems like we've forgotten all of our ideals, our ethics and our principles. And it seemed like a massive money grab with lots of people doing the pumped up fun. It was a good use case, but everybody got screwed. So World Mobile, Stand with Crypto, regulators, they are all going for the same thing, or they should be going for the same thing. And it's even more prevalent now because you see this super intelligence that's coming out. Today at Opus, 4.7, new models. It is going to consume us, and it's training off of our data. And the whole concept of crypto was self-sovereignty. And we don't have that. And we're giving all of our assets to Anthropic and to ChatGPT, OpenAI, and to even X, right? Even Elon for everything he stands for. We're giving everything away. And that's what World Mobile stands for. So what we're pushing for is saying, okay, well, you can be a privacy-based network and you can be self-sovereign and still stick within the regulations. We've represented Stand with Crypto, Coinbase a few times at the Senate and at different meetings as well. And I think it's very important that we have people that are pushing this forward, but I also think it's very important that we think about what we're doing. And we, as individuals using crypto, understand why we got into this, Maybe some people got in it to be rich. Maybe some people got in it to, quick gains. But I think the people earlier on, it was a movement. And World Mobile is that movement. And we like to work with establishments like Stand with Crypto because they respect this and they're pushing forward. We just got to make sure that we help everybody push forward in the right way as opposed to the wrong way.
You're so right. And something you mentioned about like the early days of crypto, I feel like it was more people getting into it for the self-sovereignty piece, right? And I'm sure this book here, Sovereign Individual, this is like, I feel like such a critical piece of literature. And one of the reasons that I was really inspired by the crypto space when I first learned about it, and was like, I just thought to myself, oh my God, it's a new way to earn our money, to have more sovereignty of it, to eliminate the big banks, the middlemen. And yeah, it seems like, in the US specifically, we had a couple years where it just felt like the government was really against us, the all-out war on crypto. So I feel like having discussions around this, like just putting the discourse out there, because I feel like there's a lot of misinformation, almost like misbranding and narratives that form around our space that I feel like aren't inherently true. And I feel like it's up to us to steward and to educate and share this information. And that's why Stand with Crypto, it's the only other sign that's on my wall, you guys. Like standing with crypto, I feel like is important if all of us want to continue building and innovating. So anyway, I'm going to stop my rambling here because I just love what they're doing. I've been a part of it since 2024 in the US team. So anyway, excited for you guys also to hear from Carrie in 15 minutes. She's an absolute legend. But I do want to take a step back and talk a bit more about the mission of World Mobile, because you touched on this a bit, Mikey. But, one of the missions from you guys is like actually providing an alternative, because typically with big cellular, there haven't been a lot of options for people. And now you're offering another pathway that's more decentralized and more user-centric, I feel like.
Yeah, I think the best thing is your mobile network operator, your ISP, they know everything about you. And they say, hey, trust me, right? Trust me that I'm secure. Trust me that I won't be hacked. Trust me that I don't sell your data. Even though if you look on Google, you can see a lot of controversy. You can see hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars in fines annually to mobile network operators, to ISPs for just simple stuff like selling their users' location data. For us, we say, don't trust us. You don't need to. That's what the blockchain was invented for. So we're the kind of first mobile network operator. I say kind of. We are the first mobile network operator that I think values you as the product as opposed to you as the product, if that makes any sense. Because for me, it's always been very weird that we pay for our connectivity, but we don't own our own data, or we don't have access to the same data as the mobile network operators have. And what world are we living in that that's the case? It's mental. It doesn't make any logical sense. And if you look back to interviews even 7 years ago, I started this because of privacy. World Mobile. I started building privacy-based solutions for mobile network operators, for ISPs, for institutions, for corporations, for companies, and no one really wanted to buy it. And the reason they didn't want to buy it is because they were making more money off of monetizing your data than they would be from protecting you. For us, we feel that's very different. We feel that actually there's a big hole in the market worldwide where, one, people are unconnected. We're talking about 3 billion people. We're talking two, the underserved. You live in California, so does Clover. Many of your friends live in the United States of America. You know exactly the point where your connectivity runs out. You say, hold on, I'm just about to hit a dead spot here. Give me a second, and then you jump back on the line, and then you say, hello, can you hear me? No, can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me? You get 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds later, all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I can hear you. Oh, you can hear me. Okay, great. And that happens every time in exactly the same space, in exactly the same spot. So there's always this Swiss cheese. And then all of us, we shouldn't be giving up our human rights for convenience, right? And we've been sold that in order for something to be convenient, it can't be private or have access to it. So that's got to change. And it's not because we as consumers are stupid, it's because we never had an option before. But now we have an option. And I think World Mobile is probably the leading company in the world right now that is pushing this forward and making sure that you have a choice and you are in control of your own data, and you can check, what's happening with your data. And moreover, you can be sure that we're not selling your data. So we have something called IPDRs on the World Mobile chain. Each user has a DID, and they will be able to go in and actually pull out all their own data from the network. And we're just putting those final pieces together right now. And that will be the proof point, an auditable trail by the person paying for the service to be able to see that actually they're the only one with the access. And we're developing a communications app. It was released internally today inside the company. Pretty cool, like a walkie-talkie. I think everyone's going to very much enjoy using it. There's no texting. It's only voice and video. And you can actually prove that it's more private than anything else, more private than Signal, more private than X, more private than Telegram, and definitely more private than WhatsApp. And these guys will tell you, for a long time, I've been talking about WhatsApp. Everyone said, no.
Oh, yeah, that class action lawsuit, yep.
I've been talking about it for 5 years to these guys.
Yeah.
And to our community, right? They have your private key.
Zuckerberg, yeah.
They have it, right? And everyone said, no, it's fine, it's secure, it's safe. All of a sudden it comes out. Believe me, there's many other companies that are doing the same to you as well. And I don't stand for that. And I don't think that that's right. And I think that we as humans have the right to privacy. We don't have the right to be terrorists. We don't have the right to be bad people. And our government and our regulators and our authorities, sure, I'm not trying to go against that. And I don't think anybody should. But what we do have the right is to make sure that the mobile network operator that sits in the middle doesn't snoop on us. And right now, they know when we wake up, when we sleep, who our friends are, where we travel, our routes. They know more about us than we know about ourselves. And we use this device, whether it's the computer or our telephones, we use this device for minimum 8 hours a day, right? Minimum. It sits by our bedside. It sits, it's with our kids. So World Mobile finds it very important that, and this is a fight worth fighting for, is to bring everybody into parity and for everybody to be able to, as I say, reclaim power.
I love it. Honestly, I just feel like I do want to open it up to Clover and Rob here for any thoughts they have. But I love that it's kind of like you guys did the hard thing and you started off with those strong values. Like I've been talking to Isaac a lot, and he said one of the things that you guys prioritized in the early days was going to underserved communities. Like you said, there are people unconnected. You guys, he meant that literally. There are places in the world where people do not have access to internet, to phone connectivity. And that was
Half the
one of the
world.
original missions. Yeah, like if you look at the map of where World Mobile is all over the world, they've done, I think you guys started in Africa, right?
Yeah, we started in Africa in a very small village in Tanzania, Zanzibar. And, I've told this story, I think, of 10,000 times already. But if for anybody that hasn't heard and anybody that's new today, we put up 2 air nodes, which were towers, poles, 2.5 meters, 3 meters tall. At the top of them, there was a microwave receiver. Underneath that was some street lights. Underneath that was the Wi-Fi units. Underneath that was Second Life batteries that was connected to solar. And all of a sudden, a village that had no connectivity within 24 hours was completely connected at like very fast speeds. And then after a week or 2 of it being up, 2019 was a very, very sad and interesting year for the world. COVID. We were shocked. We were locked up. Many people died. There was lots of problems that happened. But for us, it was almost a blessing that we could leave this network up and running for 7-8 months, where we only intended to leave it up for a month or 2, and see the change that happened, and the economic change, the values, the people, the happiness, the time that people went to bed, the shopping that stayed around. It completely changed everything, and that was simply connectivity. So we then took that around the rest of the world, and it wasn't our original mission. It still is our mission. There's 3 billion people unconnected in the world. It's not only is it a huge market, it's a massive sin that they can't share or speak to the other half of the world. Imagine every 1 in 2 people can't speak to each other and share their culture, take opportunities into their own hands. But it was always the mission to start it there, learn our trade, work out how to build a sharing economy properly in the hardest possible environment where it could be, in the hardest possible regulation, with no power, with really having to piece all these things together, because we knew that when we finally would come to the developed markets to help people reclaim their power there, it would be easier for us. And now we're in 4 different continents. We're in 15.
Yeah, I was actually looking because I've seen in one of your links or sites that you guys have a map where you show the connectivity. I don't know if anybody has access to that or could pull it up, but I also look over here at you guys. You could look at the ecosystem metrics to see around the world the impact that they've had, and everything is transparent. You guys can see here on their metrics on their website, 3.3 million daily active users, and you could see around the world where the hotbeds of activity are. And there is actually a map where you could see this too. And I just think it's awesome that the initial ethos were, we want to help the underserved communities and people who don't have access to connectivity, right? And connect the world, literally. So it makes sense now, World Mobile's expanding, coming more into the US. But I love that you guys really started with those strong ethos and offering people another option to not have their.
We won't stop. And we're so thankful to the people that we met, the hundreds of people that we met personally, and the millions that are connected to the network. Because if it wasn't for them, just like if it wasn't for our community, World Mobile wouldn't be where it is today. It wouldn't be this powerhouse that's going forward. So for every single one of those individuals, for those co-ops, for those groups, it's really, I say thank you to them, because they forgave us when the network went down. They forgave us when we didn't know what to do with the sharing economy. They forgave us, as we were practicing, learning to shave on their face, essentially. But in return, we gave them connectivity. We gave them back their power. We gave them opportunity. We gave them the ability to be able to reclaim their freedom. We gave them their privacy. And it was very funny to me to watch Zanzibar become the most private island on earth when it comes to communications, for people that had never been connected before, but ironically know how to use a mobile phone. And this is the case in the emerging markets. There are 400 million mobile money wallets, more than anywhere else in sub-Saharan Africa. That's 1 in every 2 people. That's pretty impressive. The population age is very young there, and they know how to use technology, and they've kind of skipped a lot of the things that we did, and they've gone straight to the mobile phone. So it's a market ripe for disruption, and it will be disrupted. And World Mobile have been first into that market in on an alternative method than existing mobile network operators, but arguably a better method.
It's incredible, and I do want to open up to Clover and Rob, and I know you guys like this is every day. You guys are locked in, highly active community members, network builders. If you guys want to share like a bit about what has inspired you from World Mobile's mission and what you guys have built, feel free.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in. I mean, I love hearing this story every single time from Mickey, but honestly, to me, it's not really a story. I mean, it's literally how the biggest community power network has started, and it's like more than just a story. It's now becoming history. And I just wanted to point out something that World Mobile, it's not really only a company to connect the unconnected, but also is focused on market, like high ARPU markets. For example, in Los Angeles, we had a top NBA player, Tristan Thompson, reach out to World Mobile, and he was located in Calabasas. And you will think that an area like Calabasas will be extremely well connected, and connectivity there wouldn't be an issue because there's multi-million-dollar homes, there's big celebrities that live there. You'll think Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile would make sure they cover these high-end customers, but that's not really the case. They've left them offline. They are underserved. They still have the same privacy issues that every single customer of the big three has, and the other MVNOs as well. And World Mobile went out there and provided connectivity within a day. It literally took not even a day. It was half a day. We went out, we put up an air node in his house, and now he has beautiful connectivity, as well as his neighbors as well. And everyone that's surrounded by this air node has a truly private network. So yeah, World Mobile is not really only for the not connected. It's also for the underserved in the United States. So I think that's also very important to note, and as well as the privacy aspect of everything. Like when you take out a line with Verizon, and we saw what happened with WhatsApp. They're getting sued right now, and then the Telegram CEO came out and said, well, we're different. We wouldn't never do this to you, right? But how do you actually prove it? Right, with World Mobile, we can actually prove everything. Everything runs on blockchain, so it's actual provable, and we can show it to you, and we can prove it to you, and you can actually recall that data, as Mickey just said. So it's not just a trust me bro project, right?
Yes.
It's something actually real, and that you can prove by checking the blockchain.
I love it. And Rob, if you want to jump up and share any of your thoughts, feel free. Feel free. And I also want to mention we do have the California State Chapter President of Stand with Crypto joining us. So I do want to, once we get through all like what World Mobile is, World Mobile Alliance, the mission, purpose, I do want to segue a bit into the regulatory environment and how that enables or helps, projects like World Mobile to have that foundation to operate. But yeah, Rob, if you have any thoughts, feel free to jump in.
Yeah, well, just recently I signed my retirement papers from the police department, and I did over 22 years there. And
Woo!
thank you.
Shout out to Rob. Let's see the comments and thank Rob for his service.
Thank you for your service, Rob.
Thank you.
Not necessary, but thank you. I spent a lot of time as a detective, and worked on a lot of big cases. Did very, very successful. Very proud of how that all went. But I'll tell you, when I was going after somebody, when I was building a case, when I was trying to get the information to make sure that I had enough to arrest somebody, make sure I had enough to solve this case and take it to court and turn it over to the county attorneys for felony prosecutions. I had to go to a lot of effort to get a search warrant for the phones, for the computers, for the different devices, in order for me to track location, in order for me to track who they're contacting and what was going on. It's a lot of effort. You have to build a case around it. It's not just a hey, I want this, give it to me, and I'm going to go get somebody. You have to have a significant amount of information to justify getting that information. Then a judge has to approve it, in order for me to even approach these telecoms companies to get this information. And so I think what's frustrating for me is knowing what I have to do as somebody who's entrusted to enforce the law and help bring people to justice. The effort that I had to go through to make that happen. Meanwhile, these companies that we're paying money to every month are taking our data, taking our location information, taking our search histories, and giving them out and selling that information out to harass and spam me and advertise back to me. I'm already giving these guys the money. That is completely ass backwards there. It's the wrong thing. And so on top of everything else that I love about what World Mobile is doing, the people they're helping, the people they allow to help, us as the community owning the network, being responsible for building all this. As much as I love all of these things, I equally am passionate about keeping that data private, keeping your personal information yours, unless you want to sell it, unless you want to farm it out to get a couple extra bucks a month, to get a few extra perks, whatever they want to give. But that should be our individual choices. Mickey should not have the right to say, hey, I'm gonna find out who can advertise to Rob and maybe make a couple bucks off it. That's not his right. That's not his information. He shouldn't be able to do it, and he doesn't. And that's what I love about this, is that we're taking back that privacy. We're taking back those rights, in a world that I feel is becoming more and more open source, open to the public. We need to have those little bits of ourselves that we can hold back, our private thoughts, our private information, our location. That should not, other than if police are investigating whether or not you've committed a crime and they can justify gathering that information, that shouldn't be available to anybody. And so that's one thing I really appreciate about Mickey, is he's passionate about that. And that is one of the central focus and purposes of what World Mobile is. It's what it's built on. It's one of the pillars if that pillar wasn't there, World Mobile would not be what we all love about World Mobile. That is a central piece of what is being built here. And again, without that, you have the other companies, you have the big three, you have the ones that just leech off of their towers to sell you phone plans at Walmart or wherever you go. So
it's
very,
the
very
old extractive system too.
Exactly.
I feel like World Mobile is more approachable for a wide array of users, right? So I don't know. I love that it's non-extractive. It respects user data and privacy and sovereignty. And yeah, it gives people an alternative, a decentralized alternative. And I do want to bring up just a couple figures here I'm seeing. Sorry, I'm just going to mute anyone that's not speaking. So yeah, there's actually been, so some of the bigger companies, right? You guys can hear me okay, right? Okay, awesome. Well, yeah, so several major carriers have been formally fined actually in the last few years. So they have either sold or improperly shared subscribers' location data with third parties without proper consent. So this is a massive issue. And some of the notable telcos fined for location data abuses are AT&T in the U.S. They've been fined about $57 million by the FCC for illegally sharing customers' real-time location data. Verizon fined roughly $47 million by the FCC for selling or providing access to customer location info. T-Mobile hit with the largest single fine, about $80 million, which is wild, and responsibility for an additional $12 million tied to Sprint. And then Sprint fined about $12 million by the FCC for participating in the same location data rescale schemes. And yeah, it's kind of baffling that these are the big carriers, and these have historically been the only options for people, and they're getting fined and being told like, hey, you're operating in a way that's unethical and you're doing things without user consent. So that's public information, you guys. Like, you can see that out there. So it's pretty.
And God knows how much money they made. How much were the fines? How much money did they make? It's speculation, but you can go and dig it out. This is the sad thing. In many cases, the fines are much less than the money that was made. So then, what are you scared of a fine for? Right. So it's like, the temptation is there.
Like a slap on the wrist to the bigger corporations.
Rachel, imagine you get 20 million customers, 10 million customers on your network, and you can make, an extra $400, $500 million profit annually from them. I'm just making those figures up. People should go and do their own research. No accusations here, but what would stop you if you're only getting fined 10%, 20% of what you're making? It's just business, and we are the business. So
It's
this
almost
is
like they accept the tax. It's like, oh, okay, the de-incentivization for doing that, it's not, it doesn't really line up. Like they can get away.
Yeah, they should have been fined $1 billion or 2 or 3 or 4 because that's the abuse of our human rights.
Yeah.
How can anyone get away with that, right? So certainly, if I was in the FCC, I would make sure that it wouldn't. But this is why we built World Mobile, because we took away any temptation for us as a company to be able to do such a thing. You know, we VPN'd end to end, and we'll continue to develop it. I'm not saying it's even in the state that I want it to be in yet. But in the end, this will be a state that will allow Rob and the authorities, and will allow governments and will allow other people to access information if they can prove that they need to access that information. But will stop mobile network operators. And I'm hoping our good relationship with the GSMA and the ITU over the next 2, 3, 4 years as we grow and expand, we can kind of become an influence, like Stan with Crypto have come to represent crypto and the people. I hope World Mobile can represent the world, because we're being abused.
Absolutely. This is a global issue, you guys. So this goes beyond just the US. This is something around the world that's happening. And that's why I'm so excited today to have Stan with Crypto on, right? So we can talk about, like, as founders, as community members, as entrepreneurs in the crypto space, how do we step up and be proactive in creating a landscape that supports projects more like World Mobile, right? So I do want to just open this up because I just got a message from Carrie. Carrie's joining us here in a few minutes. Just to put a bow on some of this, I'm curious, two things, you guys. Why do you all think that DePin is having such a big moment right now? I feel like the mind share around DePin has really grown tremendously. And what needs to happen for DePin projects like World Mobile to really scale in the US? And maybe Mickey's the best person to speak to this. Rob, Clover, if you guys have thoughts, feel free to chime in too.
It's very logical to have distributed, decentralized, a combination of both of that infrastructure. But I think it's also because so many people got burnt, and they need to know that there's something backing the token or the project that they're in. Because if there's not, and it's just vaporware, eventually the same thing happens over and over and over again. You know, how do you make $100,000 in crypto? You know, come in with $10 million. Right, that's the sad reality of the industry that we're in today. You know, I feel like the start of this has been very heavy. Usually, I don't have like particularly heavy calls, but that's the truth. So many people have got hurt that eventually you get hurt, punched in the face so many times. You know, you either die or you learn to protect yourself, and you look for ways not to be punched in the face. And I think some of those ways are their infrastructure plays. But again, you know, when DePin first came, you know, we were here way before DePin, before the word even existed. DY, you know, all of these different things that came out. But ultimately, if there's a project that has already existing demands that you can disrupt and interrupt or fit into that market and take a portion of that market, that's a great project. You know, as an investor, as someone, an operator, as a doer, as a worker, as an affiliate, whatever it is, that's the things that you should be looking for. And that's why I think and I believe that infrastructure is probably most suited to blockchain. Meme coins are fun and all that, right? They are. You know, everyone's had a meme coin here or a meme coin there. And, you know, some people have 2x, some people have 10x, some people have 100x, but not many. You know, here you have a chance to be part of something, not just at World Mobile, but any project. GeoDNet's a very cool project as well. But you have a chance to be a part of something, influence it by your effort and your, you know, the work that you do, and grow it. I've talked about this a long time. You know, people come on, they say, "Oh, well, look at your token," right? That's the first thing they say. You know, the haters. But it's like, okay, look at the token economics. Look at what business you're building, and look when the users come. And if the users are there and they're willing to subscribe, it's only a matter of time before the token does exactly what it should do in the white paper. And that's what we're building. And I think other projects have got to build the same. And I think that's taken the interest of a lot of people, and not very many, to be honest. But certainly the mind share in crypto is swaying now towards that. And I'm excited to see where it goes. And I'm excited to see other companies. But ultimately, I'm excited to watch World Mobile dominate with its sharing economy and its community and the new people we meet along the way, including you, Rachel.
Oh, thank you, Vicky. Yeah, I was going to say, okay, I don't know if you guys know this book or know Lucas Bean. He was on my recent podcast community market fit. You just nailed it, Mickey, when you talked about community, right? So Lucas Bean, he was the former head of marketing for Sony, Atari, and Experian. He came on the podcast and talked about this concept of build for what people want, build for what there is a community for already. And you guys are tapping into an issue that it's global, right? And it impacts so many people. You really need a phone in the modern world. It's like absolutely essential. And we shouldn't have that be a gate-kept space. I feel like there should be more options that are more pro-consumer, right? So yeah, I feel like you guys have really nailed it, and you have a very strong community as well. Like, I have to share, you guys, when I first joined World Mobile, I just want to show you guys the power of community too. I just got this tidal wave of support, like so many people engaging, welcoming me with open arms. And for me, like I often talk about what my why is. And for me, it's the people, like being in crypto, being in Web3. I love the community, and I love that this is a technology by the people for the people that can solve problems in the real world. So seeing people so engaged and so lit up, it told me from day one, this is something special here. The way the team moves, the way the community moves, it's just something like, especially during this market, it was very refreshing to find. So anyway, it's been an absolute treat. And yeah, if you guys are following on-chain media at all, you guys have probably heard of World Mobile by now. But yeah, I do want to open it up, Clover, Rob, before we get our special guest here from Stand With Crypto. If you guys have any other thoughts, or if you want to talk about also like the path of a community member becoming like running a business like you guys in the World Mobile community, I mean, feel free to touch on that.
Well, I think that's what really stands out to me about World Mobile. You asked about DePin and what the allure is there, and like Mickey said, owning something that's tangible, it's backed, that isn't just vaporware. And there's a lot of opportunities within World Mobile. There is a cryptocurrency, WMTX. You can own that, buy that, stake that, earn more of that, hope that number go up, along with earning more by staking, right? So there's a crypto component to it if you want to go that route. There is the EarthNode network. There's 1,000 licenses to run their computers. Basically, you're going to run a server with a high speed internet connection, fiber connection, that you will be the settlement layer, the brains of the network, doing that. So if you like computers, if you like running servers, here's an opportunity to have a license to do that and generate, in a significant amount of the revenue from World Mobile is coming back directly to the EarthNode operators. So this is a business. This is not just, it's not a monkey PFP or whatever the thing is. This is a legitimate, this is your license. There's only 1,000 of them to get involved and do that. You have the air nodes, which are making tangible returns right now. Millions of dollars have been paid back already to AirNode operators, and this is where you physically own the infrastructure that World Mobile and their partners are installing throughout the world. I own nodes in Reno, Nevada. I own nodes in Pakistan. There's nodes coming for sale soon in different places like the Philippines. Network Builder, there'll be nodes available for sale. Even if you're not a network builder, you'll be able to buy and place within the United States. So you can physically buy the towers that push out the signal and have the connectivity go through that. And as a result of that connectivity going through, you're able to benefit and profit financially, and it's paid out monthly. You can take it as stablecoin. You can take it as fiat currency. So I can get USDC. I can get US dollars every month because I have towers that people are utilizing to connect. So there's so many different opportunities, and I haven't even talked about Network Builder and what that could mean. I mean,
let's talk about it. Yeah,
it's a massive franchising option where you can literally own the franchise in your area. Right, you can buy the digital land. So then you go out and you look for customers. You can build a sales team. You can find the areas to put the towers up. World Mobile provides that data. So
we're talking about it out here in SoCal. Just so you guys know, like SoCal, you're about to hear a lot more about World Mobile.
Absolutely. But then you're the franchisee. Even if you have a team that does it for you, you're the digital landlord, and you're making profit off of what they're doing, what they're helping build. Or you're running it yourself. You're running your own business. You're finding investors, you're putting towers up, or you're hiring contractors to do it. There's so many different options that you can do here, depending on your skill set, your time frame, what your mentality, what you want to do. There's ways to get involved, whether that's just literally buying a cryptocurrency and hope that number go up, or turning a wrench and putting up a tower, investing in someone else's franchise and profiting off of their work because you have the money to buy the tower, but maybe I don't want to go put a tower up in California. I don't live anywhere near there, right? But I believe in Cal and what he's doing. I might want to put it, help him out as he grows his franchise area. So there's so many opportunities, and that's it. That's something that you can go to your friends and you can talk about. Hey, look, guys, I'm getting a return on this. I've bought this. I've bought into this. I'm getting a return. It's growing. There are opportunities for advancement. Not just, hey, bro, I bought this crypto. It's really, really cool. You should buy it too. Right? Use my affiliate code so I get $10 off of it next time you buy Bitcoin or whatever. It's not that. So, but the fact that it incorporates with crypto and with blockchain, that's what makes the difference for World Mobile. That's why it's so important. That's what stands out to me as somebody who wants my freedom, wants the ability to do things from home, do things with my family, but also grow and expand and help others. So there's so many different facets to what World Mobile is, and that's why I think people should look into it.
Mic drop. And yeah, I just have to say again, for anybody that's just joining the stream, Rob and Clover, they are core pillars in the community, really showing up, doing the work, and showing what's possible for community members. So just want to thank you guys again for being on the stream, for sharing more about what you do and showing what's possible. But real quick, I want to acknowledge we have our special guest here today from Stand With Crypto, you guys. We actually shared some brief introductions earlier on, and I told them all about your role in California, Miss Nifty. But welcome in, and happy to introduce you to the World Mobile Alliance and World Mobile. We actually have the founder of World Mobile here today. We have Mickey Watkins with us. So yeah, happy to connect you guys, and good to see you, Miss Nifty.
Hi, happy Thursday, you guys. Thanks for having me. Good to see and meet you guys.
Nice to meet you too.
Happy Thursday. Yeah, so Ms. Nifty, maybe you can just start with an introduction to who you are, your role at Stand With Crypto. And I also want to talk about like zooming in to the micro and zooming out to the macro, like what we're doing here in the state of California and zooming out to the US and the global landscape. So, but yeah, maybe you could start with just an intro to who you are and what you do at Stand With Crypto.
Sure. Absolutely. Carrie in IRL in the Web3 world, it's Miss Nifty. I've been in the blockchain space since 2016. I have a nonprofit organization that educates underserved communities globally on the basis of financial literacy, Web3, innovative career paths, and mental health. And so that works very well with Stand With Crypto in terms of awareness and how blockchain and crypto can impact communities as a whole. Should we be aware of and have access to education in these industries? And at Stand With Crypto, I'm the president of the state of California. I activate across the nation. So I will be activating and representing in Arizona this coming week. Then from Arizona, I will be in Las Vegas, and then from Las Vegas to Miami, and then back into LA, where we'll be hosting some things in San Francisco. So I'm all over the US. And it's really our purpose to engage, activate, and be the safe, trustworthy conduit between people and policymakers to make sure that the policies that are being implemented have feedback from people, not just big corporations that have, their perspective and the benefits for them, but what is it that we're seeing and we're feeling and thinking that we need from the government? And what are some things as builders that we see future forward? And that kind of opens the door to us opening up a a national Stand With Crypto university chapter program. So we launched that in December. We onboarded universities across the US, about 42, I think at this point, through January and February. And we had our first trip flying them all out to DC. to just experience what DC is like, what, you know, going to speak to Congress is like, so they can get prepared for this year. It's a big year. And they are also the ones that are future builders and change makers. So they'll see problems that will impact them far before we will, right? We don't have the same perspective, the same usage that they will have. And so we need their feedback as well, not just ours.
Absolutely. And I was actually going to pull up, you guys, over the years. So Miss Nifty and I have done a lot of activations together. We've been very active in California. Some of you don't know, but, you know, in a previous life, several years back, actually helped with policy work in the city of Berkeley. So helping for blockchain policy at the municipal level. And that just got my brain really excited about this stuff, you know, that we can actually raise our hands and in our local communities, just get involved, go speak to council people, people who are writing laws, policymakers. We have so much more power than we think to get involved and advocate in our communities. And that's what we're doing here now in SoCal. We actually started a chapter here. Now we're in, a localization, right, of events happening in Laguna Beach. So Miss Nifty and I have been teaming up and working on that. So it's been very exciting. And I've been a Stand with Crypto ambassador since 2024 now. But yeah, Miss Nifty, I would love to hear like some of your goals, like things that you're accomplishing here in the state of California, and then zooming out, like what is Stand with Crypto doing in a more like zoomed out sense?
Great. Specifically for the state of California in 2026, we're focused on more, I would say, regions, so that we have more districts that are representing Stand with Crypto. So we're onboarding more users in various districts like San Jose. So 2025, for some backstory, was the first time that we really launched the state of California. And within a year, we were able to increase our Stand with Crypto advocates to over, I think where we're at now, 356,000 members. And in less than a year, we added on an additional 100,000. So we've made such tremendous growth in the last year in the state of California. We want to just expand that. So to do that and not even touch San Jose, which is a tech hub for the state, is insane. One of the other things that we want to do is, because it's such a big election year, we want to make sure that we're talking to more policymakers and making sure that our community is well aware of the things that are being put forth to vote on this year. So we have a lot of representatives that are putting bills that have something to do with crypto and or blockchain technology that right now it's kind of like some people just want to be a part of it, and so they're throwing something out there that isn't quite fully thought through with the help of community members and or builders. So it's yes, I'm supportive or I'm involved with this. Community members to know, hey, these are your representatives, these are the things that they have on the table. Let's help educate them and guide them in a safe space before we actually get some policy for the state of California that isn't fitting or beneficial for the people. We have right now default, which in July 1st, or no, maybe it's June 1st of this year. We're focused on raising awareness about that. We're focused on raising awareness about the fact that the state of California is not able to earn crypto rewards in centralized platforms, which is a big deal. You know, the state of California users have lost $10 million since we haven't been able to, you know, stablecoins. So that's just for the state of California. On the national level, is still that focus of making sure that all voters across the U.S., you know, we represent over 2 million voters, are aware of what's going on in DC on a federal level and on their own state level. But really, I think it is, if we can get some federal guidelines, then state isn't going to have to be running around trying to create their own guidelines. And so it'll kind of point, right? And so this is why we're really pushing to get it done on a federal level. So it's not just like haphazardness in every state, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And that's why things like, you know, the Clarity Act have been so important. And I do want to open up here. Mickey had a lot of great things to say, by the way, earlier with Stand with Crypto. And just want to hear, like, for the future of projects like World Mobile, projects that are building more decentralized infrastructure, DePin, RWAs, what do we need to, like, accomplish and figure out on the policy side so that projects like this can continue to innovate and grow in the U.S.? I'll just open this up to anybody that wants to chime in here with their thoughts.
Well, yeah, I'll jump in.
We need clear guidelines. Sorry, Mickey, go. Yeah.
No, please. It's I think clear guidelines are important, but I also think it's important that crypto projects stop being crypto projects. Right? We should build for purpose and build for demand, and we should fit within regulations. And a lot of the reason that the guidelines aren't there, and a lot of reason that there's a lot of skepticism still around crypto, is because a lot of it's a scam. Right? That's the sad truth. And people get burnt. So you have one side of the fence saying, okay, well, people need to get burnt in order for us to be able to grow into this industry. So this is a part, when credit cards first came out, people were being robbed of their credit cards. When SIM cards first came out, people were being robbed and cloned of their SIM cards. When, online banking came, people were having fraud, but slowly, not fast enough, but over a relatively short amount of time, all of a sudden these different guidelines come around that, and different protection comes for the consumer around that, and then it finds its path, its place. But I think what mobile is doing is, kind of the opposite. It's saying we can conform by the existing regulations and we can make them better. We can give a better end experience to the consumer, to the customer. And just because we're a crypto doesn't mean you don't need to know where we stand. It's very clear. We are a telecom company, a sharing economy that deploys infrastructure and has customers, subscribers. And Miss Nifty, I think you need a World Mobile SIM card based on your connection. So I'm hoping
I just got my plan. So Miss Nifty, a little context here. We just went through all things World Mobile Alliance. They are offering another pathway from the big cellular companies. And they started off with the ethos of trying to give service to people who are in underserved communities and areas of the world that don't have connectivity. Now they've expanded. They've grown worldwide to, I want to say something like 3.5 million daily active users. So it's really grown substantially, and now they're expanding in the U.S. And shout out to our man Cal here, Clover Nodes. He's actually in the SoCal area. So Miss Nifty would love to have Clover out at some of our events, and the local, their community just really shows up. So it's just totally in line with the vibe of, Stand with Crypto, on-chain media. So excited to get Clover out to some of our events.
I am as well. As a matter of fact, I must say I've been to a couple of these Stand with Crypto events, and they are by far one of the most put together events out there. And I've met quite a bit of people through these events. So I'm really excited that you guys are actually doing something locally that I can join and kind of educate people to what World Mobile does and all the great things and offerings that World Mobile brings to different communities. Not only to empower them, but to actually to also connect them as well. So, yeah, I'm super excited. I'm looking forward to participate in these events. And me and Rachel already started talking about a couple different things. So, yeah.
We're locking in. And Miss Nifty, so Clover is the largest Hex owner in the Los Angeles area. So it's pretty cool. He's really stepped up as a community member and almost like built a business right here with Rob. They have the World Mobile Alliance. So I think it's really cool that they were grassroots community members, and they've really built a solid brand around this. So really inspiring, and they've shown up and just welcomed me with open arms from day one. And I do want to share, Miss Nifty, I think this would be a good moment to share a little glimpse of our Laguna Beach events, you guys. We will be doing more of these. So maybe, Miss Nifty, I can show our recent video from this event. Our most recent event, rather.
By this time next year.
Let me know if you guys can hear this. This is our first Stand with Crypto and on-chain media event in Laguna Beach.
We have over 347,000 members just in our state. My goal is that we get to over 500,000 members by this time next year.
We do have Daniel Moncada from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul joining us for a panel.
I've been in the crypto space since 2016 and 2017-ish. Rachel, she's super consistent doing the work, she's dedicated. and doesn't gatekeep.
Creator DAO, we essentially invest in creators, and I've grown multiple YouTube channels with over 4 million subscribers and over 1 billion organic views.
Kong will officially be joining On-Chain Media as a strategic YouTube advisor, you guys.
Telling stories enables you to reach more people in an emotional way. And at the end of the day, that's marketing.
We all kind of behind these PFPs, like no one really has that human connection until you go travel somewhere. And we want to hear from people who are actually using the products, who are actually building.
Our mission is to support creators. We launched a creator fund. It's $100,000 initiatives. We basically give grants to creators who want to launch and create their digital assets on Rarible.
Thank you, Count on Cheap, for sponsoring. Everything in the gift bag was sponsored by Own the Doge today. We have Hydrax in the building today, you guys.
We are a decentralized exchange on Base Chain. We see Base 100xing over the next couple of years. We have just shy of $1 billion in volume across our pairs, and we funneled over $2.5 million back to our token holders.
To me, the wealth cap that will happen if our communities do not get into Web3 is going to be far greater than we've ever seen.
With all our minds together, we could make a lot of shit happen that normally would not be possible if you're just doing it by yourself.
Tap in with Rachel, tap in with Miss Nifty. Let's not be strangers at the next event.
And I definitely want to do more events like this. This seriously has been a huge success, and I just feel very grateful that we shared this experience all together. So thank you guys. So yeah, that's a little preview of our Laguna Beach community, you guys, that we're building out here. Mickey, we got to get you out one of these days.
Sure, I'd love to.
Awesome. Well, we'll definitely get Clover. We're going to drag Clover out to the next event. And yeah, maybe we can do a little portion and chat about World Mobile to some more of our SoCal community.
It would definitely be a pleasure. And, you know, I love to be associated and around people that are moving, because in order to have a movement, you need people that are moving. So yeah, for sure.
Inertia. Absolutely. I totally agree. And by the way, I got to shout out Miss Nifty. She is always moving. She is literally flying around the country to every single conference. Like, I was like, so are you going to Bitcoin Vegas? You going to Consensus? She's like, I'm going to all of that, like everything. So she is everywhere, you guys. Now that you've seen her, if you haven't met her yet, you will see her at an event most likely.
We actually have something on the 5th of May, I think, in Miami. There's quite a big event. So we'll be releasing some pretty huge alpha with some partners of ours on or around that event, and even maybe at that event.
Okay, we're getting some like
Please
alpha
let me know.
breadcrumbs.
I'll be there. I will be there. I'm just trying to see if I can get there earlier for the F1.
A little bit of racing.
Is anybody here going to be at Bitcoin
mean, it's
Vegas?
only a couple of days.
Oh, sorry. I think we might have a little delay. We got Miss Nifty who will be at Bitcoin Vegas. Anybody from World Mobile community, anyone, and feel free to drop in the comments in the live stream chat if anybody's going to be there.
We may be there, but I think we're saving it for Consensus Miami.
Awesome. Well, hey, if you guys are watching and you're going to be at Consensus, definitely tap in and follow what World Mobile is doing. In fact, I do want to pull up some of the socials here just to show you guys where you can tap in. And I do want to start diving into like how you can actually get involved with World Mobile Alliance, and Stand with Crypto. So we're going to run into all the things here. But first, I just want to put a call to action out there. If you guys are not following at World Mobile Team and at WM Chain, I'm just going to show the accounts real quick. Tap in with what World Mobile is doing here. You guys, I'll also drop the link in the live stream chat. And then also World Mobile Chain. Definitely, if you're not giving them a follow, you could follow everything they're doing here. Mickey, you know, he's a mover and shaker. He's also traveling around at conferences and speaking everywhere. And you guys can tap in with them at Consensus as well. And I want to pass it over to Miss Nifty to share any call to actions you may have around Stand with Crypto. Like, how can people get involved and become advocates in their local communities?
First, standwithcrypto.org. That is our website. If you have not already joined, please join. If you just want to join and not be active, join, because every number that we represent gives us a greater impact, right? So when we go to Congress, we go to the state capitals and talk to policymakers, we want each state representative to be able to say, I represent X amount of voters, and this is what we're hearing from them. And if you want to get more active, once you register with Stand with Crypto, you can say, hey, I want to email and or call my representatives, and within a matter of seconds, you'll have your representative's contact information and be able to email them very easily through our website. If you want to get more active in IRL, we have a representative in every state doing activations every month. And so we'd love your support in whatever your area of expertise is, or you have a passion for something that you'd like to contribute to. I will definitely connect you to that representative so we can, you know, get some magic made together. Thing that we're focused on right now is keeping our stablecoin rewards, something that the Genius Act gave us. That is something that is being addressed right now. Banks are not wanting us to maintain what the Genius Act gave us. And so we are really pushing on social media in DC and via email and phone calls to representatives across the nation to say, hey, have our advocates call, our advocates post. It's really important that policymakers see that you are a human being, somebody that's with crypto paid or some other company to just say, I want to keep my rewards. And because that's one of the things that they're saying, it's not real people. And so it's really important that it comes from each of you guys. And that's the most urgent, like right now, thing we're focused on. And then also saying to get clarity written up and agreed on and passed so that we have some type of framework for innovation in the United States. I'm available at ms_NFTY. You can message me on any platform there. I will lead you in the right direction for whatever way you'd like to participate. Mickey, I look forward to definitely meeting you and your team. We will be at Bitcoin in Vegas, but I will be at Consensus. We're bringing in about 30 youth, high school and college students from the surrounding area in Miami to take them to the conference and expose them to, you know, this industry and hopefully open their eyes to an innovative career path that they never knew existed. So we have a lot of things going on, but definitely would like to connect. Has spoken very highly of you and your team.
Thank you very much. I look forward to meeting you. We have a very good relationship with Stand with Crypto already. Charles Barnett and Emmanuel Gratch have represented several times for multiple different things. And I think that we would love also to speak to the students if we had the opportunity, because we have lowered the barrier to entry for telecommunications. And believe it or not, the United States of America, we won't talk about privacy at this point, but we'll just talk about connectivity. Around 10% of the population is unconnected, and there are millions of children that don't have connectivity at home. There are so many people that rely on internet and they can't afford it. But we changed that narrative because we actually allow communities to build out and own their own infrastructure that they can use. You know, they should own their own connection, and communities should be able to bring back money. In Reno, we've built out probably our most extensive network in the United States of America. We're bringing back money, not just to the people on this call, Clover Nodes, for example, but to the people that are hosting the infrastructure as well. And, you know, I did a recent study, Inglewood, California, for example, around $79 million a year leaves Inglewood. Population is 110,000 people. None comes back, not a penny, right? But World Mobile has built a model where money can come back to the neighborhood, to mums and dads and to sisters and brothers and people trying to make it. And that extra $2,000 or $3,000, or even in some cases, you know, $10,000 a month that they're earning from connecting their communities is something that not just Africa needs, not just Asia needs, also the United States of America. You know, there's a huge poverty line all around the world right now, and people are wondering how and why. And look, AI is coming, and it's going to be big, and it's going to be super intelligent, and many of us are going to be out of jobs that we would have been in before. But AI will not replace houses and connectivity and infrastructure. So, you know, we're lowering the barrier to entry for people to be able to reclaim their rights to earn and build their future by connecting people.
Absolutely. and to mirror what you're saying, we took community members from Austin when Consensus was in Austin, and they got to see and learn about utilizing this technology. And a lot of people, the students were really interested in wanting to sign up for their phones and be a part of this ecosystem. So it's there. The kids are sponges. They're ready for innovation and they're ready to learn. They just haven't been to it. And when we have conferences like this all over the world, it really empowers them. It really shines a light in this space that they never knew existed. So I'm really proud that we're able to do this all over the nation.
Yeah, huge kudos to Stand with Crypto, to the work that you're doing, Miss Nifty. Like, we don't get the innovation and the projects like World Mobile without proper regulatory clarity, and creating a climate where projects like this can thrive and offer alternatives to, the big cellular networks. So I just think it's so incredible. And yeah, if you guys, just final call to action with Stand with Crypto, it is extremely easy to sign up for this, and everything is super templatized. Like, they create custom or templatized text, emails, so you can reach out to your local policymakers, lawmakers, and actually have a voice in this industry. And I feel like my philosophy has always been, if you're building in crypto, it's important to stand with crypto too, right? Like, we can all be advocates, and it really just takes pressing a couple buttons and letting Stand with Crypto send you the messaging. And also the education side of it, if you want to be more knowledgeable on like who actually is supportive of our industry, for politicians, you could see their scores. And I've said on previous shows, I remember a couple years back, like I want to say 2023 or 2024, this was pretty red. There were a lot of people strongly against. So I think that's just a testament of how much progress Stand with Crypto has made, especially in the US. So anyway, you guys, tap in. It's super easy to sign up. And yeah, I do want to open up here just for any final words of wisdom, closing thoughts here, and any calls to action from Stand with Crypto, World Mobile Alliance, and World Mobile. So Miss Nifty, do you want to kick us off here?
If you're in this space, if you're interested in this space, or just literally, checking in on it, join. Don't complain about it later, right? We are in a time and a space where we can be a part of laying down the groundwork of where this policy lands. And it's up to us to either be a victim of whatever other people are going to write and pass, or be proactive and be a part of authoring things at a state level and or contributing your voice to policymakers that are writing it on a federal level and or state level. So don't be quiet now and then complain about it later. That is what we've heard throughout the test of time. I want to hear people that have a voice and say, hear your opinion, hear your thoughts, hear your ideas, hear your solutions, pour into this pool of information so that collaboratively we can come up with solutions that are best fit for us future forward. So that would be my biggest thing for people to hear and live by and participate. And I'm here for everybody. So please tap in.
I love it. Use your voice. And Mickey's saying in the chat, well, we got a Mickey appearance in the chat here, you guys. Reclaim your power. That is the whole mission behind World Mobile. So that being said, I would love to pass it off to Mickey. I know he always leaves with these big mic drops, man. I'm excited to hear Mickey's final words of wisdom and calls to action here. All right. You there, Mick? Mic check. All right, we might have to come back. It's saying your mic and camera are already in use. Yeah, Riverside can do that sometimes. So I'll pass it off next to Clover. We'll go Clover, Rob, and we'll circle back to Mickey. We'll close out with Mickey.
Let's do it. We gotta close out with Mickey. A shout out to Stand with Crypto, by the way. I've utilized all your services. I've texted, I've called locally. Like, you guys you guys are the only ones that go out there and make stuff happen, And I get emails, I get text messages, and then it's super simple. It's just a click of a button. So I like really encourage everyone to follow Stand with Crypto and then get really involved because they make it really easy. And it's true. Like this website that they have where they showcase what your local governors or mayors think of crypto and where they stand for crypto. And I remember it was all red in California, and now it's slowly starting to turn green. And like these people in the government, they're being educated and they're being introduced to crypto, and I feel like Stand with Crypto does a really good job. But as far as how to be involved with World Mobile and the Alliance, obviously follow us on all social media. We would appreciate it. We're an official distributor of telecom infrastructure in Pakistan, so you can actually purchase infrastructure directly from us and start earning amazing rewards every month. It's already pre-installed. We sell them in bundles, and we make it easy as 1, 2, 3. So head over to our website. You can see it right there, or reach out to us if you have any questions, and we'll be more than happy to help you. But I think the best way to be involved with World Mobile at this point is just to become a subscriber. We have a beautiful product in the United States. It's live. Our starter plan is at $15, and no one offers that with a privacy built-in plan. I mean, it's you can actually use someone affiliate code like Rachel, for example, and actually have your first month off, half off, excuse me. So you can try our service for $7.50 a month and get privacy and get beautiful connection and get a ton of other rewards. I mean, we have stuff like, like rewards back on your plan. No one does that. No one pays you back to use the network. So yeah, I mean, when people say like reclaiming your right to privacy, this is truly what World Mobile stands for. So I think that's the best way to support World Mobile right now is just to become a subscriber and give one of our plans a try. So yeah, and I really appreciate Rachel for bringing us up here to educate people on World Mobile. We really do appreciate it.
Of course. I mean, I appreciate you guys. Like, seriously, again, I've told the story many times, but from day one, I joined the community. I changed to the yellow PFP, and man, just a tidal wave of support. Clover, Rob, so many people in the community. Shout out David, OC knows. Just so many incredible people in the ecosystem that really got me more excited. And again, I share my why, and I love people. I love community and building community. And you clearly have those values, right? And that stems from the team, by the way. Like, it's such a solid, incredible team. And I feel like it's really inspired people like yourselves to, grow your brands in the community. So anyway, I'm not sure if we got Mickey back with us here yet, but I do want to kick it over to Rob. And also want to share where folks can connect with you on socials.
Well, again, thank you for letting Cal and I be a part of this as well. And we love hanging out with Mickey. It's always a great time. But
he dropped as soon as we said that. He's like, all right, I'm out.
Yep.
I think he's rejoining.
Awesome. We have the World Mobile Alliance, the X account. We have worldmobilealliance.io. Those are easy ways to connect with us. As Cal said, we have some infrastructure within World Mobile that's for sale. We also have merch and other things, and the store is just going to grow and get bigger as we put more items up, as the community helps us to create items. It's a community powered merch. It's a community powered endeavor. Is what World Mobile is. So that's why we love doing this. Earlier I mentioned different ways that people can get involved with World Mobile, and I'll just end it with this. What I really love about World Mobile is it provides an opportunity for you to get involved, for you to help other people, for you to help do things that people in some situations desperately need. You can connect a village in Tanzania. You can cover your own. You can fix your own problem. I live on a farm. I have a dead zone right outside my house, and until I switched to World Mobile, I was on AT&T. I was on Verizon. Cal can attest. Every time I'd call him on the phone, we'd be talking on the phone, I'd say, "Hey, dead zone. I'll call you back in 3 minutes." The moment I switched to World Mobile,
cheese effect. Yeah.
I don't
There's
have
some
that
spots
problem
in
anymore.
Orange County too. If you're driving, it's a hilly area. Yeah. It's just like if I'm on a meeting, I'm like, all right, guys, this is it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't have that problem anymore because I switched to World Mobile, and I with the new World Mobile SIM, that is no longer a dead zone. And so I have actually called Cal, hey, guess where I'm calling you from, dude? And he's like, where? Like, thinking somewhere exotic. I'm like, the dead zone. And so you can fix your own problem. You can help somebody else out. But the beauty of it is you're able to do something that can benefit you, it can benefit others, it can financially benefit yourself. You can do it in such a way that you are not taking away from other people in the process. So many businesses, we have to have a product, we have to be able to sell something. The big telecoms companies, what do we always get upset about? We pay our bills, they make money. Yeah, they give us a service, but what do we get back? Right? What do we get back? In Zanzibar, where this first started, the biggest thing there was you could own a tower. You could be an investor from afar, and you could buy one of these aeronodes. But the people in Zanzibar were putting these on their houses. Mickey used to tell the story all the time about the median income in Zanzibar is $150 a month. And people who were putting aeronodes on their houses or on their businesses were making between $50 and $97 per month extra just for powering that thing, just having it run as a host. And so that's a way where money is going back into the community. We're not just strip mining and fleecing everybody as these towers go up in different places around the world that need the connectivity. The money goes back. It provides jobs. It provides income. It reinvigorates their economies. It doesn't take from the economies. And so you can be completely altruistic, but still, as the owner of those nodes, profit off of it. And I think that's what's really exciting is, you always used to hear, my pastor said at church a long time ago, and I've never forgotten this thing. He goes, you have to give over the overflow. That's why in the Bible, David says, my cup runneth over, right? It's you provided so much that there's overflow that you can pass out to everybody else. If you are constantly giving from your cup and that's all that you have, you pour it out, eventually you run out, you're empty. You can no longer just give and give and give. What happens when a nonprofit runs out of other people's money? They have to shut down, right? And so the ability for World Mobile to be able to allow us, hey, we can profit off this, we can benefit off of this, but at the same time, the places that we are reaching out, the people that we are helping, they're going to benefit. So we're not just taking from them, and we're not just giving of ourselves to the point that we can't give anymore. So it provides opportunities to give, to love other people, to serve other people, to benefit yourself at the same time, and make sure that everything is balanced. If there's not balance, you're going to run ragged one way or another. And so Mickey and the team have done an amazing job of finding ways to allow people to get involved, to own this network, to reclaim your power, to take all these things, all of the slogans, all the catchphrases, all the cool things that they're all true. But at the same time, you're not sapping yourself so much that you are sabotaging yourself in the process, and you are not able to carry on and continue doing this. And so the benefit of World Mobile is the privacy, the connectivity, the helping others, but at the same time, being able to carry on doing so without running out of steam, without running out of money, without running out of energy or time or anything else. So we're able to keep going. That is the reason that Cal and I have been doing this as the Alliance for almost 4 years now, every week, is because we get reinvigorated because of what we're doing. We know that it's coming back to us in other ways.
All right, we're getting mic drops all around here. Rob, just so inspiring what you guys have done, and yeah, I can tell you're so aligned with the mission of World Mobile. Very passionate about this, and again, got to give you guys flowers for showing up as much as you do. And this actually reminds me, like, one of the things that I actually shared on our community call yesterday, some of the videos that I made, but something that really stuck out to me is that I made the switch and I now have a World Mobile plan. It's actually a phone plan that pays you back too. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I don't know if you guys want to see, maybe I could show a preview
gotta
of
see the video.
Yeah,
we have to
Clover,
see
but
it.
so there's also there was a Grok rap. So I was driving in my Tesla to my cellular provider at the time, and I was like, "Hey Grok, make me a rap on why you should make the switch to World Mobile." And it didn't make the cut, but if you guys really want to see it one day, maybe we'll release it. It's pretty funny. So anyway, I'll show this really quick, then we'll pass it over to Mickey and we'll wrap up. But yeah, I would love to show you guys the video if you guys want to see in the community. It has not been released yet. All right, here we go. I got two. I got one where I'm switching to the plan, and one that dives deeper into staking and all that. I'll just show you guys when I made the switch. So.
Today's the day I'm going to change my phone plan. Today's the day I start the switch to World Mobile. So you can see here, you can reclaim your right to privacy and enjoy unrivaled coverage with World Mobile, the network that gives token-based rewards to you and your community for taking back control. So let's go ahead and dive in. We got some plans here. I see starter, standard, unlimited, unlimited plus, and global access data only. So leaning towards unlimited plus. I'm getting unlimited plus. So just going to dive into more about this specific plan. So the ultimate plan, unlimited plus, packs unlimited calls and texts with 50 gigabytes of high-speed data. So you get your mobile hotspot, built-in VPN, enhanced identity protection, backed by 1 million insurance and SIM swap protection. So this one is just kind of like the more like holistic one that covers everything that I'm looking for. So I'm going to go with this and check out for $55 a month. Another thing I love here, by the way, you guys, is that I am not locked into this plan. I can change anytime. Some of the big cellular companies lock you into these contracts that they don't have a lot of flexibility. But with what we're doing here, these plans with World Mobile, there's more flexibility and I could cancel or change my plan at any time. So I'm going to go ahead and get that unlimited plus plan, you guys. Super excited and going to check out. Okay, everybody. And there it is. I'm officially subscribed to World Mobile. About to dive in now and check out the dashboard. Okay, so that's all I'll show for now. We also got the dashboard walkthrough, staking, all of that, but maybe we'll share that on another stream. And maybe one day the Grok, the infamous AI Grok wrap will see the light of day.
Let's go.
I know Clover is team Grok
show
wrap.
the grog. That was my favorite part. Not gonna lie.
That was an awesome video. Congratulations and thank you very much for supporting us. And supporting yourself as well, reclaiming your power. I say it a lot, but it's so important, and we don't know where our privacy is until it's too late. So you know, I literally had a mic drop. I've had to switch from computer to telephone.
Oh, it was on brand. We were expecting a mic drop, just not a literal one.
Yeah, exactly. All of a sudden, some firmware update. But okay, look. Truth is, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to be on here as always, Rachel. It was really nice to meet Miss Nifty as well. Rob, Clover, you're great friends. You're great business partners as well. But more than anything else, you're great advocates for everything that World Mobile stands for. There was a guy called Hogarth, and he talked about a perfect circle. And just to touch on what Rob was speaking about now, it's pretty damn hard to draw a perfect circle, okay? Certainly without a compass. And even then, it's also pretty hard to draw a perfect circle. Well, mobile is one of these beautiful, perfect circles that seems like it's so right and naturally in the right place at the right time in order to be able to allow us all to be on, to not give up our human rights, allow us all to have connectivity on our terms, allow us all to help others whilst helping ourselves. You know, that's hard. You either are a charity or you're a profitable business or you're a not profitable business and you've got to capitalize on people. But by putting a sharing economy out there, you're letting the people power the network and you're letting the people own the network. And it's this circular economy that comes around. And it's only going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger until we have 1 billion customers. And hopefully after that, we'll have even more. So thank you again. Look forward to the next time that we speak. Excuse me for being slightly late earlier on. I know you wanted to start earlier, but I had just literally landed from another meeting.
It's okay. We all made it here, and I think that's the most important thing. Every single person here shows up every day, you guys. I know everybody's got their schedules. Some of us are flying around the world, going to conferences, going to meetings, but the fact that everybody showed up here today, I'm immensely grateful for, and we will be doing these shows every week, you guys. So to tease a little bit for next week, we'll have some incredible guests joining, and yeah, just keep an eye out. You can follow @RachelOnChain and @OnChain Media for posts and updates on the upcoming shows. But yeah, we'll be running it back every Thursday. And then I'm making an appearance on one of Clover and Rob's shows too. I don't know if you guys want to tease that a little bit.
Yeah, we'll be on X on Saturday, and that'll be 12 p.m. Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific time. So I believe that is Nick. I believe that is UTC. It's 5 p.m. maybe 4 or 5 p.m. I'm not sure.
This Saturday, correct?
Yep. but we'll be doing an X
And
Space.
next Saturday too. I think this Saturday we're doing it's the Spaces. Next Saturday, I believe, is a live stream, right, Clover?
So we'll do it on the 25th. On Saturday the 25th, we'll do a live stream video call as well for the Alliance. So again, we're usually doing these every Saturday. We alternate between video and X Spaces, and then sometimes just to mix it up, or if a schedule gets in the way, we might do like a Friday night U.S. time just to give our friends in Oceania and Southeast Asia a chance to join live without it being 3 a.m. So, but yeah, every weekend we're here. We kind of gather everything that happens that Mickey does throughout the week. That they let us know all the hard work and all the big things, and then we have the weekend to digest it and talk about it. It's a lot of fun.
And
Let's go.
We're gonna have Rachel on the live stream, and that's gonna be exciting. We're looking forward to that.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. This is just it's like something I'm looking forward to every Saturday now. So definitely got it on my calendar. If you're in California like me, grab a cup of coffee, come hang out, start your Saturday morning with us. And yeah, I don't know, Mickey, do you want to take us home with another mic drop, or Miss Nifty, if you're able to share if there's any final thoughts you have? She's out there advocating for crypto and saving the world and stuff.
For me, it's the same. It's the same. Let's stay connected, and I'll see you. I'll see you on Saturday, team.
Let's go. See you all on Saturday. Miss Nifty,
Thank
thank
you
you so much for joining. And you guys, we started talking about our next Stand with Crypto event here in Orange County. So stay tuned. And yeah, Clover, anyone in Orange County and SoCal in the World Mobile community, we'd love to have you guys out. All right. Thank you, everybody.